Hello, hello, hello. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. I post them on a subreddit. It is called DF Sports. People talk strategy here, people post other content. Really good place to be in excuse me, in my opinion. Here's my post. It's called Locks of the Day. I post updates with all the news that comes out. People talk strategy here. People post links to the write-ups, stuff like that. Really great place to be in my opinion. So if this is something you are interested in, please check it out. I'll reply to all your stuff. Um, and I'll talk to all of you. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll have a link to that below. And then if Discord is something you're interested in, a link to that will be below. A sneak peek of what I do. I post cores for NFL. I post player pools for NBA. I post cores for NBA. I post private videos, stuff like this. I tell people where I think people should be going. So if you're interested in that, I'll have a link to that below as well. So let's take a look at my lineups from today. Today's going to be a solid day regardless because of NFL. NBA, I made a dumb pivot. So I thought Jeremy Grant was going to be more popular than 15%. He's like 15% owned. So I was like, okay. Rozier is going to come in way lower owned. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to go to the lower owned guy. So I swapped off Grant, went to Rozier. That is just not working out at all. Jeremy Grant has like 22 at half. Terry Rozier has 11. So if I kept Jeremy Grant, I probably cash, and that's probably what's gonna kill me. We'll see though. Gonna need a big half from Terry Rozier. I'm surprised nobody got ownership in this game. There's like no ownership in this game, so I could shoot up the leaderboard pretty quick. I'll let you guys know if I cash or not. It's I don't know. I don't think I'm going to, but we'll see. But I went with Kyle Lowry, Devontae Graham, Paul George, Najee Marshall, Rudy Gobert, C.J. McCollum, Terry Rozier, Jose Alvarado. So the core that I have for today was Najee Marshall, C.J. McCollum, Jose Alvarado, and did I not play someone in the core? Najee, Gobert, CJ. Okay, Najee, Gobert, CJ, Alvarado. Unfortunately, the game blew out. CJ would have got there if it wasn't for the blowout. He was absolutely going off in that fourth quarter and then gets pulled with 5 minutes to go. Unfortunately, Jose Alvarado just, only plays 30. Okay, he played more than I thought. I thought he played less. But low owned best play on the slate, Devontae Graham. I told everyone in Discord. I told them I was going to play Devontae Graham. I actually told them I was going to go Devontae Graham over Jose Alvarado. I initially had Orlando Robinson as a core play and at center. And I had Orlando core and I had Alvarado core. And I told everyone I'm going Devontae Graham over Alvarado. But unfortunately, once we got news that Jovic was starting, I got off Orlando Robinson. I made Gobert core. Ah, I'm just extremely tilted from that because Orlando absolutely broke the slate. Fortunately, a lot of people in the Discord still kept Orlando, so that was good to see. But send Rudy Gobert to the G League. Send this guy to the fucking G League. Worst trade in NBA history. The Timberwolves should be ashamed of themselves. The Utah Jazz committed highway robbery. Absolutely put them at gunpoint and committed robbery. Congratulations to the Utah Jazz. Showdown went well. As you guys know, I only play cash for this. I went Herbert, Eckler, Keenan, Nick Foles, Cameron Dicker, Mo Ali Cox. The core that I have for Showdown today was Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, the three highest scoring players on the slate. So that felt good outside of the defenses. So that felt pretty good. or I think what's that guy's name? The tight end. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Jelani Woods. They were close. Herbert outscored him, but they were completely different prices. But yeah, going to be a winning day for me. I hope you guys had a good day as well. And let's go over this 7-game slate, I believe it is. Yeah. Yeah, 7-game slate. So Lakers at Orlando. Good matchup here for the Lakers. Where's Orlando? 22nd in pace. 22nd defensive rating. I always think it's funny when that happens. So we have AD going to continue to be out here. We have LeBron probable. Always probable. I don't understand that. Dennis Schroeder is probable as well. So I think LeBron's a fine spend up on the slate. I don't think he's a priority for me, but he's just going to dominate the usage here. It is a good matchup. This game should stay close. Going to play huge minutes. I have no issues with LeBron here. Westbrook's minutes are on a downtrend, so it's really hard to get to him. I don't understand why he's not playing as much because he's having a fantastic year, in my opinion. I think he's playing extremely, extremely well. It sucks, man, because no team's going to want him because of his contract, and he's just stuck in this bench role on the Lakers. And I really want to see this guy succeed. I really, really do. I know a lot of people hate him, but I've always liked watching Russell Westbrook play. He's always been one of my favorite players, especially in Oklahoma City. So for DFS, just can't get there with the minutes trending down. I'm interested in Thomas Bryant here, and let me explain why. He's been very, very popular for like the past 3 slates. The price has gone down. He busted here because of foul trouble, and then the rotation was completely whack. Orlando has a bigger front court. They're not going to be going small against Orlando, in my opinion. So I think Thomas Bryant goes back to his normal role of like 30 plus minutes here. So I think he's a pretty good GPP play. I do. Lonnie, Schroeder, they're just there for me. I do prefer the discount to Austin Reeves to them, but all 3 of these guys, they're just fine plays. Prefer Austin Reeves for the discount. Patrick Beverley, I think, is a playable value. More out there for his defense, but you guys know the drill. Guy that can stuff the stat sheet. Not going to be productive offensively, but can get those near and dear defensive stats. So I think he's a fine value. Right now, there is like no value on the slate, so we're going to have to consider some value that we normally wouldn't. So good matchup here for Orlando. Lakers second in pace. Where are they? 20th in defensive rating. So this is like the dream spot for Paolo Banchero. Now, my only issue here is we do have Wendell Carter Jr. back. So that is definitely going to take away some usage from Paolo Banchero. He's going to be on a limit, obviously, and I do believe he came off the bench. I think he did, yeah. Came off the bench. I'm not too concerned about it, but I think Banchero, once again, a lot of people in the Discord have been playing Banchero, and he's been absolutely smashing. So in a good matchup here in a pace-up spot, I think Banchero is a pretty good play at 8.1k. Do like that quite a bit. Franz at 6.3k too. I don't hate either. I have more interest in the Magic this slate than I do normally. I just really like the matchup here. He's a guy that can do a little bit of everything as well. I don't hate Franz. Markelle Fultz, this guy has caused me incredible amounts of playing. I play him here, bust. I play him here, bust. I play him here, bust. I fade 103 points, 75 assists, 69 rebounds, and shoots 420,069 from the field. In play for GPPs, like I said, Lakers have been getting killed by guards, so if you want to go there, fine. If I fade, you guys should definitely be playing him. Mo's minutes have been on a downtrend, so hard to go there. Cole Anthony, same thing with Markelle Fultz. Extremely, extremely up and down, but once again, it's a really good matchup for guards, so in play for GPPs. And then I'm probably not going to touch anyone else on Orlando. Let's go to Philly, and Philly is running an extremely tight rotation, and it's not good in my opinion, but we'll talk about that in a second. Wizards 18th in pace. They're my team, right? I don't want them running them Embiid and Harden and everyone else into the ground. 21st in defensive rating. So, I mean, it's a good match for Embiid. I don't think Gafford or Porzingis is really going to be able to stop him. Like I said, they're playing their guys huge minutes right now. So I always do like Embiid for GPPs. He's always going to be low owned. So like that. And I like Harden too. Played 43 minutes, 41 minutes, 42 minutes, 3 of the last 4 games. I really wish Doc Rivers wasn't driving our starters into the ground, but our bench is so bad that when the starters aren't out there, we lose leads. So yeah, if Harden's going to continue to basically play the whole game at 9.7K, he is too cheap. So I do like both the top 2 guys here for the Sixers. Toby, Melton, no thank you. Shake Milton, no thank you. Jordan Niang, he'll play, 20-ish minutes off the bench. He's definitely relying on scoring, so he has a super low floor when he's not hitting the shots, but not a lot of value on the slate, so unfortunately, we do have to consider some of these guys. But he's just like a low-owned dart, like complete dart. Philly 26th in pace, 2nd defensive rating, so not much interest on the Washington side for me. I think Beal would normally be too cheap, but this is a game environment that I really don't like targeting, so more of a tournament only play for me. I think Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma are priced about right, or overpriced given the matchup. They started Daniel Gafford last game, and of course he got into massive foul trouble. I wonder if they start him here against the Sixers. Now, Gafford's a guy that is always in foul trouble, so going up against Embiid, that is something to be concerned about. But if they start him again, I mean, I'm fine with it. Even off the bench, I'm fine with it. I think he's going to play around 18 to 20 minutes regardless, and if he starts, might play a little bit more. So I think Gafford's fine if he starts. Going to anyone else, I just can't do it. Just can't do it. You have DeLon right back. So that's going to take away minutes from guys like Barton. Rui's still on the minutes limit, so not much on the Washington side. Houston at Boston. Not the best matchup here for the Houston Rockets, but excuse me, I just burped. Let's talk. Why does my browser just do this, man? Okay, there we go. Boston is 14th in pace. They are 7th in defensive rating. So clearly Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green have ceilings. Same with Alfred Sengun. I mean, if we look at what Sengun did tonight, I mean, look at the stat line. Sengun went for 25, 11, and 6, played 32 minutes. Jabari Smith went for 13, 8, and 2. KPJ absolutely nuked the slate. Jalen Green absolutely nuked the slate. So, if Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green are going to continue to play 40 minutes, and I mentioned this in my last video, they are in play. I definitely don't like the matchup. I think their ceilings might be a little capped in this matchup, but if they're going to continue to get that run, I think they're in play. Sengun at 5.8K, I have a lot of interest in. See, Robert Williams barely played last game. If we're going to get most of Sengun's minutes up against the likes of like Blake Griffin and Al Horford, I kind of am very interested in Sengun at 5.8K. I don't know what they're doing, man. I keep saying this. Jabari Smith is too cheap. I say this every slate. He absolutely smashes every slate. I don't know why the price has gone down. The rotation is different of late. He's playing mid-30s minutes now. He's really found his stride. A really good rebounder, decent scorer, double-double upside. I have no issues with Jabari Smith once again, and nobody's going to play him once again. KJ, no thank you. Eason, no thank you. And yeah, how many minutes Eason played? Like, why are we playing Eason 17 minutes? Why? It makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. Good matchup here for Boston. Whereas Houston, they're like mid this season. I feel like 17th in pace, but they're terrible defensively, 28th defensive rating. So I really like Tatum and Brown's ceiling in this spot. Now, point per dollar, how do they rank against other spend ups on the slate? I would say pretty low, but I feel like this is a spot where both could absolutely nuke. So I definitely am intrigued by both for GPPs. Guards have been absolutely killing the Rockets, so I think Smart at 6.1K is a very safe play. Horford with Robert Williams basically not playing. I don't understand this. Why? Why? If Williams is only going to play 14 minutes, he's unplayable. And I'm pretty sure he didn't really get into foul trouble. Someone could tell me, that would be nice. I feel like they just fucked with his rotation. I know he was already on a limit, but I feel like they just didn't want to play him. They went to Blake Griffin. Yeah, they went to Blake. Like, what are we doing? They were playing Blake. Okay, he came in for Rob, and then Rob just okay. That's really really smart, if you ask me. A very very good rotation there. What are we doing? So yeah, I think Horford's going to play around 30 minutes. He was a very popular play on Christmas. I think he's just there for me, just fine. I think I prefer Jabari Smith for cheaper. And then, like I said, Robert Williams not playing enough to go there. Derek White, um, fine play, kind of like an Austin Reeves, but he'll play probably a little bit more than Austin Reeves. So just a fine value play, and then not much else. So let's move on to the Clippers. So really tough matchup here for the Clippers. Toronto, they play slow, 25th in defensive rating, and 13th in defensive rating. 25th in pace, 13th in defensive rating. So it's a back-to-back. Kawhi Leonard, I expect to play here. We'll have to see if they rest anyone, but everyone healthy in a tough matchup. I think this team is just going to be a cross-off for me outside of one play that I am definitely want to see how many minutes he played tonight. Because he played huge. Okay. Alrighty. Zubac played 36 minutes the game before. Played 41 minutes tonight. That was overtime. Clearly. But if we're going to get high 30s minutes or low 30s minutes from a 4.6K of Vicky Zubac, I feel like he's going to be a very popular play tomorrow. And while I think he is a good value, I think there are ways for him to fail. Ty Lue has shown to absolutely fuck with his rotation. Plus, you have the bad matchup and concerns for foul trouble. I think there are things going away from him, but how do you fade Zubac tomorrow if he's going to get mid 30s minutes at 4.6K? How? There are ways to fail, but like, it's too cheap. It's way too cheap. So, yeah, like Zubac, I don't really think that's a contrarian take there. If people are going to be off Zubac at this price tag, if he gets the same more minutes, that's better for me because I'm going to be all over that if he gets similar minutes. But I'll go there. He's probably going to get trolled. But yeah, I think it's just Zubac for me on the Clippers side. I think Reggie had a good game tonight. He started off hot, barely played. John Wall's back. We'll have to see if he rests. I believe he played tonight. If John Wall's out, I like Reggie at 4.8K, but if he's in, kind of unplayable. Let's go over Toronto. So tough matchup here for Toronto. Clippers 21st in pace, 3rd in defensive rating. I mean, once again, they're just running an extremely tight rotation. You have Siakam playing over 40 minutes. You have Fred VanVleet playing over 40 minutes. So even in a tough matchup, I think both look good. Price went down on Siakam. So like both, I'll let you guys know if I'm playing him because when I play him, 30, 30, 30, 40. When I fade, 68, 107, 475. But I think both the guard, Siakam and Fred, look good to me. I think Fred's too cheap at 7.6K. I don't know why the price has gone down. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. So, like both the top two guys here for Toronto, Scotty, OG, just GPP plays. Trent's back, so hard to get to Boucher. Minutes definitely trending down there. Hernan Gomez minutes trending down. So, yeah, he needs the minutes to get there. So, just the top two guys on Toronto for me. Let's move on to Atlanta. So really good matchup here for Atlanta. Where are the Pacers? 6th in pace and sorry guys, 17th in defensive rating. So I like both the guards here. This might be a contrarian take, but I think both look pretty good. I think DeJounte Murray at 8.3K in a good matchup is too cheap. I think Trae Young at 9.8K is too cheap. These two guys are going to dominate the usage. Trae's double-double upside. DeJounte Murray definitely has a lower floor than Trae, but can do a lot more scoring and bunch. Well, both can. I like DeJounte. I like Trae Murray in a good matchup. I think both look good. We're going to have to see who they start at the 5. If they start John Collins at the 5, he played 30 minutes last game. I want to see if he started at the 5 last game. or if it was a Congo. It was Collins. So if we're going to get Collins at the 5, that is a very, very big boost for him. Seems like he played 30 minutes at a blowout too. So sign me up for some Collins at the 5 if he starts at the 5 against the Pacers. If we get a Kongu starting at the 5, then I'm going to prefer a Kongu. So just keep an eye on that news, and then nothing else for me on Atlanta. Let's move on to the Pacers. Good spot here for the Pacers. Atlanta played decently fast. I feel, where are they? There's no way they play slow. Yeah, 7th in pace and 12th in defensive rating. So Halliburton had that absolute dud tonight. Not too worried about it. I think if this game stays close, he's going to play high 30s minutes. Has triple-double up, well, not triple-double upside, but double-double upside. Clear number 1 on this team. It's a good spot. I like that Murray-Halley pairing, or Trey Halley pairing. I think that's a very, very good pairing for GPP. So I like Halley. I like Turner too, especially if either a Kogwu or Collins start at the 5. I think minutes for him, he's probably going to play around 30. So he's going to be a low-owned play that I do like quite a bit for GPPs. Going to anyone else, kind of want to see the rotation. Sorry, guys, I didn't look at rotations before making this video, but Neesmith 22, Nembhard 22. This isn't a blowout. Duarte played 22. That was probably in the blowout though. But yeah, I think it's just Halley and Turner for me at the top. Like, you can consider Nembhard, you can consider Neesmith. They're fine value. They're fine values. Not something I'm going to go out of my way to play. I'm going to look at Popcorn Machine. If Duarte played 22 minutes before the blowout, I'll have some interest. But if that was because of the blowout, going to be a no bueno spot for me. And then I also want to look at how many minutes these Spurs played tonight, because they haven't been playing their guys big minutes. Yeah, Keldon played the big minutes. Jeremy Sochan played 31. They seem to want to really give that guy minutes. Vassell played 35. Trey Jones only played 27. So it's a phenomenal spot up against Oklahoma City Thunder. I think Keldon is probably my favorite option. I think his minutes are the safest of the bunch. I think Vassell is my second favorite. Jakob Poeltl is just not playing enough for me to go there. Zach Collins a little bit pricey for me. I think Sochan is actually a decent value. I know I've been trolling on Twitter about it, but they want to give this guy minutes. He's got to stuff the stat sheet too. There isn't a lot of standout value on the slate, so yeah, I think Sochan's solid. I know you guys are going to hate me for saying that, but yeah, I think that covers it for the Spurs. Let's move on to Oklahoma City. So phenomenal matchup here. Spurs 8th in pace, last in defensive rating. How do you not like SGA in this matchup? I think SGA makes for one of the best spend-ups on the slate. I think he's a close second. I think Jokic is the best, but love SGA tomorrow. I think Giddey is going to get some ownership, plus the matchup. I don't hate it. Guy that has triple-double upside, can stuff the stat sheet, pace up spot. Both teams play extremely fast, so like both the top two guys quite a bit here. Lou Dort at 4.9K. I still think it's priced about right with those two guys healthy. Jalen Williams, his minutes are pretty scary. He's going to play around 30 minutes. Solid value. Kendrick Williams has been getting consistent role off the bench. If JRE's back, that's going to muddy up everything. So keep an eye on that. If JRE's back, just this whole bench rotation of like Kendrick, JRE, even the starters like Jalen Williams and Poku, that could severely mess up things. So just be careful there with the rotation with Oklahoma City Thunder. No one is trustable outside of SGA. So I feel like I'm taking forever. This is a 10-game slate, not a 7-game slate. So what the fuck? I'm going to speed this up, boys. Let's go over... You know, this is taking too long. I'll just let you know if it's a good matchup or not. Not the best matchup here. We have Booker, Cam, Payne, Shamet, and Jay Crowder out. Chris Paul at 8.8K, I think makes for one of the best mid-range options on the slate. It is a tough matchup, but I'm not too worried about that. Going to play huge minutes if the game stays close. We obviously know he can stuff the stat sheet, so I do like Chris Paul. I think Ayton at 7.5K is okay. I think he's more priced appropriately. Bridges, no thank you. Super safe, but when every time I play him, just mega bust. Torrey Craig going to play, around 30, 35 minutes, guy that can stuff the stat sheet. Don't think he'll win you a tournament, but a guy, he won't kill you either. And then I'd assume Damian Lee moves into the starting lineup. Would like him quite a bit for value. And then there's a guy that I do like off the bench, and that's Dwayne Washington Jr. at the flat min. So if you take a look at rotations, when Shamet was in and starting, Dwayne Washington actually came in before Damian Lee for 2 games, I believe. So I assume that Damian Lee's going to start, and then Dwayne Washington's going to be one of the first guys off the bench, like Okogie, Washington. I think it'd be one of the first 2 off the bench. So I am very intrigued by Dwayne Washington for GPP. He's actually a good point per minute guy too. So I think he's an interesting GPP play. I think Okogie is okay for value. Just a lot of guys out, a lot of minutes to go around. So tough matchup here for Memphis. Bane's back. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I have no interest in Memphis tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's it. Bad matchup here for the Knicks, but once again, they're running an extremely tight rotation. So Randall, RJ, Brunson all look good to me. Mitch, solid. Quentin Grimes, okay value, playing huge minutes. Quickly has a ceiling, but minutes are all over the place. And I think that's it. But if Brunson's out, Quickly becomes the best value play on the slate. It wouldn't really be close. Would love Quickly. RJ, Randall get boost. Would like them even more. And then Miles McBride will probably enter into the rotation. But I don't think we would have to go there. Dallas at the Knicks, tough spot here. I mean, Luka's always in play, regardless of matchup. But I do give the edge to SGA, point per dollar, and I do give the edge to Jokic. Woods' minutes are all over the place. Always solid GPP play, but if he's going to get ownership, I'll gladly look elsewhere. Spencer Dinwiddie playing huge minutes. Now we have to keep an eye on Kemba Walker news. If he is in, I'd assume Dinwiddie's minutes might not be as secure, but continuing to play close to 40 minutes or over 40 minutes, I think he's solid. Tim Hardaway Jr. appropriately priced, and then with all these guys out, Reggie Bullock is going to pretty much be asked to play huge minutes, but oh God, I don't think you could pay me to play Reggie Bullock, but yes, he's playable. Shot at the Warriors. This is a game I really like. I don't know why LaMelo Ball's price went down. Really like LaMelo. Oubre, Rozier, fine. Hayward, fine. I want to take a look at the minutes for the bigs here. I want to see if what they're doing with the backup 5. So Plumlee on pace for big minutes. PJ Washington on pace for big minutes. Who are they playing as the backup 5? They are not. They're playing PJ and Mason Plumlee solely as the 5 and the backup 5. I guess Mark Williams is playing some backup 5, but not much. Okay, that is good to see. So I like LaMelo a lot. And then if they're going to run the same rotation that they're doing tonight with Plumlee and Washington basically playing all of the 5 and the 4, I like both quite a bit in a good matchup. So I do like Plumlee at 5.6K. I like PJ Washington at 5.2K. Like both them quite a bit. If they're going to play Mark Williams like 10 minutes, really good matchup here for the Warriors. I think Poole, Clay both look good, assuming the game stays close. They're going to be the clear number 1 and 2 on offense, like both. Really like Poole, though. Dante, super safe play, 6.5K. I don't really think it is a ceiling to win you a tournament, though. Kuminga, no thank you. Draymond Green, assuming he plays, which he will. I think he's going to be a very popular play in the mid-range. Price didn't move. I think he looks really good. Wiseman was popular, but his minutes are not secure, so really hard to go there. And let's move on to the last game of the night. And I don't understand how you don't love Jokic in a phenomenal spot against Sacramento. So, love Jokic. I think Murray is super safe. Aaron Gordon has been extremely well, played extremely well. I'm fine with it. I'm not going to get to anyone else, though. KCP, he'll play huge minutes, very scoring reliant, though, a fine value. Let's move on to Sacramento. So, not going to get to Sabonis. He's going to play through whatever that finger injury it was, but not going to go there. If Sabonis is out, huge usage bump to Fox. would have a ton of interest there, and then bigger usage bumps to the rest of the guys. If Sabonis is in and playing, they're all fine. They're all just secondary plays for me. If Sabonis is out, I have no idea who starts with the 5, but whoever does start the 5, I would like for value. So I hope this helped you guys out, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.